Hey kids, welcome to section 1.3 weekly time card. Today we're going to learn how to calculate the total hours on a weekly time card. Why is it important to accurately record your hours at work? Well, if I were getting paid, I would want to make sure that every hour that I worked, I got paid for. Um, Mistakes happen and you got to make sure you keep an eye out for them. So remember that job at the cinema that you had? Well, you're required to keep track of your hours on a weekly time card. Some jobs have you sign into work with a thumbprint. Others have you sign in with a code, maybe your social security number. Sometimes you have to write down on a piece of paper like a log. So every job is different. But somehow you're going to keep a weekly time card, which is just a daily record of the time you report to work and the time you depart. Some places make you clock out for every break that you take, whether it's a paid 15 or an unpaid half hour. Whatever the case may be, they're going to keep track of your hours. So you want to compute the hours that you worked each day. And then at the end of the week, you're going to add the number of daily hours to find the total number of hours that you worked. Now, if you don't work an entire hour, it's standard to round your time to the nearest quarter hour. So for instance, if you clock out at 12:14, well, that's kind of a weird time. So we're going to change that to 12:15. Now, it's important to remember that time is out of 60 minutes in an hour, but numbers are out of 100. So 15 minutes is like 15 over 60, which simplifies to a fourth, which is how you get 25. 30 minutes out of 60 is 1/2, which is the decimal 0.5. And 45 minutes out of an hour is 3/4, which is the decimal 0.75. So it's going to be really important that you guys remember what decimal goes with the number of hours worked. And we're not going to worry about all the other number of minutes in an hour that you could work. We're going to focus on these three. And then total number of hours worked, you just sum all the daily hours, which means to add. So let's take a look at a time card and we can see what we're talking about. So, example number 1, John Kim works in a hospital gift shop. Use his time card to find his total hours worked each day and his total hours for the week. Round off the total hours each day to the nearest quarter hour. And then we have a question here at the bottom that we need to answer after we figure out total hours. All right, so Monday, he came in at 6:45 a.m. and left at 11:30 a.m. So from 6:45 to 11:45 would be 5 hours, but we're not quite there. We're 4 hours and 45 minutes. So I'm going to put a little 4.75 here for 4 hours and 45 minutes. Then we went to lunch and we clocked back in at 12, clocked back out at 3:45. Well, that's 3 hours and 45 minutes, but we're going to put 3.75. Because remember, 15 minutes is 0.25, 30 minutes is 0.5, and 45 minutes is 0.75. All right, so we're going to add these two together, 4.75, 3.75, and we're going to get 8.5 hours for our total on Monday. All right, let's do the same thing for Tuesday. Tuesday, we clock in at 7 a.m., leave at 11:30 a.m. That's 4.5 hours, so we're going to put 4.5. Go to lunch, come back. 12 p.m. to 3:45 p.m. is the same as before, 3 hours and 45 minutes, so 3.75. Add these two together, and we get 8.25 hours. All right, when we get to Wednesday, 6:56. That's kind of a weird one, right? So we're either going to make this 6:45 or 7, whichever one is closer. Well, 7 is closest, so I'm going to put a little 7 here. 11:45 is good, so 7 o'clock to 11:45 is 4 hours and 45 minutes. So that's 4.75. Then we have 12:30 to 4. That would be 3.5 hours. So 3.5. Add it to the 4.75 and we get 8.25. All right, the next one we got 6:45 a.m. to 12:50. Ooh, 12:50 is not good. So remember, quarter hour. So we're either 12:45 or 1 o'clock. Well, it's closest to 12:45. So we're going to put 12:45. So 6:45 to 12:45 is 6 hours. 1:50, ooh, that's not good. So that's either 1:45 or 2 o'clock, whichever's closest. We'll go with 1:45. You worked extra late that day. So 1:45 to 3 o'clock is an hour and 15 minutes. So 1.25. We add that with the 6 and we get 7.25. Okay, Friday. Ooh, 7:10 a.m. Well, the closest is either 7 or 7:15, so we're going to go with 7:15 to 11:30. That's 4 hours and 15 minutes, so 4.25. And then 12:30, ooh, 4:25. Don't like that. The closest would be 4:30. That makes it really nice. 12:30 to 4:30 is 4 hours. Add it with the 4:25, you get 8:25. Now I want to add all the total hours for the day or for the week, and I'm going to get 40.5 hours. All right, good job. Now we have a question down here at the bottom we need to answer. If he earns $8.75 per hour, what is John's total pay for the week? Well, take the number of hours that you worked, multiply by the hourly rate, and you're going to get a total of $354.38. So there are lots of places that you can make a mistake in this problem. Be very careful. Make sure you check your work. A simple mistake can throw you off. And when you're getting paid for a job, you want it to be accurate. All right, here is another example of a time card. This one looks slightly different. Find Ray Bell's total pay for the week. All right, so let's go into his time card here. Let's see, on Monday, he came in at 6 and he left at 11, so that's 5 hours. Then he came in at 12, left at 6, that's 6 more hours, so that's a total of 11 hours. Ooh, that was a long workday. All right, on Tuesday, he came in at 6 and left at 12:30. That's 6.5 hours, so 6.5. Then he came in at 1, left at 5. That's 4 hours. So that's 10.5 hours for Tuesday. On Wednesday, he came in at 5:45 and he left at 11:15. Well, that's 5.5 hours. And then he worked 11:45 to 4:30. That's 4 hours and 45 minutes. So 4.75. If I add these two together, I will get 10.25. All right, Thursday, 6:15 to 12:15. That's nice. That's 6 hours. 1:15 to 4:30 is 3 hours and 15 minutes, so 3.25. Add these together, I get 9.25. Friday, 7 to 12 is 5 hours. 1 to 5 is 4 hours. That gives me 9 hours. Boy, he works a little bit less each day. And then finally, Saturday, we have 12 to 5, which is 5 hours. So if I add all these hours up, the total hours worked is 55. All right. So now we got to use this information to fill out the table over here. So over here, it says our regular pay is $9.25 per hour. Overtime pay is time and a half, 1.5, times the regular pay for hours over 40. So anything over 40 is considered overtime. So we worked 55 hours. So that means that I worked 40 regular hours and 15 overtime hours. Well, the rate for regular pay is $9.25. The overtime rate is 1.5 times 9.25. So this is just another way to organize your information in a chart. All right, so 40 times 9.25, that gives me $370. If I multiply 15 with the 1.5 and the 9.25, I'm going to get $208.13. If I add these together, I'll get a grand total of $578.13. And there is my gross pay for the week. All right, kids, if you have any questions, please let me know. And as always, keep calm and keep trucking.